One of the most frequent causes of calls for roadside assistance is dead car batteries. It's crucial to have a fully charged battery to avoid this issue. But what if the battery is no longer able to hold a charge? It's important to consider the causes of your car battery's failure to hold a charge so you can address them. In this video, we discuss the most common causes of a battery that keeps dying. We also demonstrate how to resolve the issue. And just before we start, please make sure you've subscribed to the channel. Parasitic Drain. A car battery powers numerous features. The battery may drain if these components are using power when they shouldn't be. You might not imagine that a malfunctioning computer module, relay, or trunk light could drain the battery, but they can. You should look for a potential parasitic drain if your battery keeps dying despite being charged. Bad alternator. The alternator would be the next thing to check if you've changed the car battery and are still having trouble getting it to hold a charge. While the engine is running, the alternator is in charge of charging the vehicle's battery. If the battery starts running after being jump-started but dies after a few minutes, the alternator is unable to recharge it. The alternator typically has a lifespan of 80,000 miles or more. Bad battery. The lifespan of car batteries is constrained. A battery typically lasts between 3 and 5 years. It might not charge or start when jump-started if it has reached an advanced age. The only remedy is to replace it. Blown fuse. There are probably 2 fuse boxes in your car. One is located close to the floor underneath the steering wheel. The other one is usually found underneath the hood. Fuse compartments in these boxes guard against feature overload. The car battery can no longer be charged if the alternator fuse blows. Only driving short trips. You must travel a fair distance in order for the alternator to fully recharge the battery. If you are moving at highway speeds, it also helps. The battery will eventually run out if you only drive the car a mile into town and back. Try to drive for a longer distance, if only to enjoy the scenery. Low quality battery. The price of a new car battery can be hard to bear. It appears that prices are only going up and up. There are a number of reasons, though, why you shouldn't compromise on the quality of the car battery in order to save a little money. A poor quality battery will malfunction more quickly than one from a reputable brand, for one thing. If you can't get the battery to charge, your choice in quality might be to blame. Corroded battery cables. Even though the alternator is in good condition and the battery isn't old, the battery won't charge. It's possible that the cable connectors or terminals have corroded. Hydrogen gas is released by the sulfuric acid, which causes battery corrosion. Corrosion results from a chemical reaction that takes place when this is exposed to air. The corrosion prevents a secure connection, which prevents charging. How to fix. Even if you are not a professional mechanic, the majority of the issues we've covered are simple to identify and fix. No special equipment should be required, and only a basic understanding of mechanics is needed. Test battery. Test the battery as soon as possible if it won't hold a charge. Many auto parts stores provide free battery testing, and if you buy a new battery there, they will install it for you. Here are the steps if you want to test your own battery. Put the surface charge away. With the engine off, turn on the high beams for a minute. Set the direct current voltage reading on your multimeter. Set on 20 volts on the dial. Red to positive and black to negative leads should be connected. A healthy car battery should register at least 12.6 volts. Connect it to a charger and retest if the reading is lower. It might be necessary to replace the battery if it keeps malfunctioning. Diagnose parasitic drain. If the alternator and battery are in good shape but the car keeps dying, the battery may be being drained for some reason. A parasitic drain is difficult to locate. Remove the negative battery cable. Connect the multimeter. Put 20A on the multimeter. While someone is keeping an eye on the multimeter, remove fuses one at a time. You know you've located the parasitic drain when the reading on the multimeter starts to change. To identify the fuse's purpose and resolve the issue, consult your owner's manual. Check charging system. Numerous auto parts stores also offer alternator inspection services. Here are the steps to follow if you want to do it yourself. The multimeter should be set to 20 dCV. Connect the multimeter to the battery terminals. The reading should be higher than the battery reading when the car is running. Search for a reading between 13.5 and 14.5 volts. The battery will receive the necessary charge thanks to this higher reading. Check fuses. Locate the fuse or fuses that are connected to the charging system and see if they are blown. A gap forms in the wire inside a fuse when it blows. You need to change this fuse in order to get the charging system functioning once more. Make sure to only replace it with a new one that is rated for the same amperage. Drive longer trips. You must alter your way of life if it prevents the battery from being charged. Consider combining several shorter drives into one longer one rather than making them throughout the week. It is best to connect the battery to a battery charger if you are unable to drive long enough to maintain its full capacity. To make sure the battery is always ready to go, you can attach a trickle charger or a maintainer to it. Hope the information was useful for you. If so, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel.